Hey guys, okay, so today I wanted to talk to you about a study I found. I'm going to let a few people join us here before I get into the meat of this thing that got my knickers in a knot or knickers in a twist, whatever that saying is. I figured that was better than got my underwear in a wad or whatever that is. So it's a blog that I read about artificial sweeteners. And if you had read the blog, you would have just been totally convinced that Splenda or sucralose, the little yellow packets, that they definitely caused cancer. It was just a done deal. Everybody knows it. Why even question it anymore? It's just proven, right? And honestly, I talk to a lot of people that think that when it comes to artificial sweeteners, that of course, right? We know they cause cancer. I had, somebody just tell me the other day, oh, yeah, of course, everybody knows that. I read it on the internet. All right, we'll get to that point in a little bit. So here's the thing. So I ran across the blog that said, research suggested that Splenda or sucralose may cause cancer. There's so much bias in this study from the researchers themselves. It's like I got so frustrated because it's like you can't even believe what the researchers are telling you. These are the experts. Unless the only way I figured this out is I really dug deep into the research and found the truth. So there was a study, it's in a good journal. It concluded that mice that were fed sucralose or Splenda had a higher risk of blood cancers or leukemia. Now, here's where we have to get into the details and the real truth. In fact, they actually could have said just the opposite. So, prior studies have shown that there's an effect or no effect at a level, what we call 500. It's 500 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. The point here is the lowest dose that they even looked at would be the equivalent of a 150-pound person eating 28 packets of Splenda every day. First of all, nobody's going to do that. So their findings are essentially meaningless at that point. And, certainly what's recommended for us is far, far lower than that. So that's where they started. Next, the researchers, said that the more the rats ate, the higher their risk of leukemia and blood cancers. Again, not true. If you look at the 2,000 level and the 16,000 level, there seems to be some kind of difference there. But if you look at the 8,000 level, there was no difference. So their conclusion that the more the mice ate, the higher the risk of blood cancers, they totally can't say that. But they said it right there in the abstract, in the little summary of the study. Now here's what they did not tell you. None of this was in their summary. And in fact, you had to really dig deep into a table in the study. It's in there, but you had to dig deep to actually find this. And thank you for other people who have reported on this out there, and it made my job easier. So, in fact, they found that the more Splenda that the mice ate, the female mice actually had a lower risk of cancerous tumors. So tumors instead of blood cancers. More Splenda the female mice ate, the lower their risk of cancerous tumors. The male mice, they found no difference. Now, if you looked at the whole population of mice, again, no difference in the risk of cancer overall, no matter if they ate no Splenda or tons of Splenda. Okay? Now, another problem is all the mice had a high rate of cancer, even the mice that had absolutely no Splenda. So what was going on there? Who knows? Now, what about those blood cancers though? Again, they're looking at like 2 points. They specifically teased out the 2 points that they wanted to look at because that was what was going to support what they wanted the study to show. They probably were a little unhappy that the study actually did not show what they wanted it to show, meaning the more Splenda you eat, the higher the risk of cancer. It did not in any way find that. And of course, and actually, they could have completely turned that around and said that the more Splenda you eat, the lower your risk of cancer, because the study actually did show that too. They just chose to ignore that completely. All right, so this is not the first study to show an actual decrease in the risk of cancer from eating Splenda. But of course, I'm in no way suggesting that Splenda or sucralose decreases your risk of cancer. It might. We just don't know. We certainly don't know anything from this sucky study. And yes, that's my medical diagnosis. So in conclusion, just because you read it on the internet does not mean it's true. Unless you read it on WebMD, of course, because we vet that crap so that we don't put false information out there and feed your brain with lies. So just make sure you're getting information from a credible source. See you guys.